Still 1/3.
Okay, just keep it open.
Open?
We are making beer, and for that we have a small scale plant where we have sensors and pumps and valves and all these kind of things. And for that we have a control system in the computer based on a PLC from Delta V. And that's where we are kind of controlling the temperature, and so that the process goes smoothly and we get the results for the beer we want.
Although making beer is like a 1,000-year-old process, but nowadays in an industry it's done in a very big scale. It's completely automated so that you control it from a control system or somewhere else, and you don't actually go in and do it the old way. So in that case you need to control all the valves, pumps and heaters, the tanks. You have to maintain the levels and have a good standard, good quality, and all that has to be done from a room through a computer. So through this we know how each and everything works and how a specific controller works, how for example a pulse width modulation works, or a dedicated discrete controller, how it works, how the valves operate, how the pumps work, timers and so on. So every object we study in theory in our subjects, we see it here, we understand how it works in reality. So that helps whenever we see a complex process when we start working in the industry.
I think you learn to be less fearful, and you learn to trust yourself more, because you are gonna figure out something. When you are doing theory, you think that you have to have everything in your head, you have to memorize, you have to understand every single thing. But here you actually get to understand just by doing, by practicing, even by making mistakes, like I don't know, as I said, closing the wrong valve, and then you have an actual happening there that you see, oh, and then you get the lesson like, oh, I shouldn't have done, or I learned this from this side. So I think this is a really good way of actually learning a lot, rather than just by books. So we have put all the grains according to the recipe of the beer we are creating, and then now we just have to wait for 2 months for the whole conditioning of it and fermentation to do its magic, and this is going to be the result after that time.